Hi all, and welcome back to another episode of WolfQuest Anniversary Edition Ultra Ironwolf with Gnat and Stickbug, and of course their 5 wonderful pups. Hi puppies! Didn't get a ton of name suggestions on the previous video, but I did get one comment from Mushroomed8302. Can you please name one of the puppies Moth? I think that would be cute. So yes, we shall name one of these puppies Moth. Who looks like a moth? About this little one right here, 1818F. She shall be Moth. And just for the sake of the others having names, let's name this boy Hawk. And we've got 2 more males and a female. How about Willow for the female? And for the 2 males, they're just little guys. How about Bracken and Bramble? There we go. All of our pups have names for now. If anybody does suggest more names, I would be willing to change some of these since just kind of made them up on the spot. But for now, you know, I'd rather have something to call them rather than their designation. So we are off to a rather peaceful start. Let me check on the pups. Yes, I think I already mentioned last time that I didn't think we had a run. It still looks that way to me. Smallest one is Bracken, and largest one is Willow, surprisingly. Hello, Willow. Yeah, the majority of this game is not really the most action-packed thing. I've been spending a bit more time lately just kind of sitting around with some of my pups. For a while I was playing some games on easy, just kind of trying to get some of the unlockable coats, and as you can see, Nat here does have one of the unlockable coats, the bronze forehead coat. But when you're playing on easy, it's a little bit, well, as of this time, the saga is going to change this, but as of this time, your pups can't die from sickness. They get down to about 10% health, and then they stay there until they recover. But on challenging and accurate, which is the difficulty I usually play on and am currently playing on, they can definitely pass from sickness. So recently I've been spending a lot of time at the dens with the pups, just kind of hanging out. And I mean, I love the music. I must say it's not the most engaging thing sometimes, just kind of sitting here and waiting to see if something's going to attack us. Let's see, what can we do this episode? Oh, we need to mark some territory for sure. Yeah, I forgot we kind of set up at the very edge of our territory. Moth is still a little bit hungry. Do we have any more food? No. Alright, well, Stickbug's gonna feed her. That's nice. Good job, Stickbug. Sometimes you have a mate and they just will not feed the pups at all, but looks like we've got a good one here with Stickbug. Hello. Hello, children. Yes. Oh, woo. Oh no, I've done a emote. I've done a play bow, and now Moth is no longer eating. Or she's back to eating. Okay. Awesome. Wonderful. Once they get fed, once they're full of food, we can get going. Probably about good now. So, oh, they're still on their wobbly little legs. Alright, you guys, you just take your time. Wobbling into the den. Oh, it's a good thing nothing's attacking us right now. I've definitely had attacks happen when the pups were still in this wobbly stage, and it's just like, they're going as slow as possible into the den. Could they go even slightly faster, please? And the answer is no. Not until the next time we see them. I'm sure that when we get back to the den from marking territory, they will be able to walk around normally. But for now, wobbly babies. Yup. Go on, Hawk. You can do it. I believe in you. Hey, there he goes. Okay. I don't particularly care if Stickbug comes with us right now, and it doesn't look like he's going to. Okay, he's just going to stay with the pups. That's probably for the best, honestly. I don't anticipate that we're going to get into any kind of territory skirmishes so much while we're coming out here and marking the territory, just because we're not really that near to any of the other packs. It'd be good to have a buffer of at least 2 hexes on every side of our den. That's usually what I try to maintain. It just kind of keeps the other packs from attacking us as viciously. There is a den around here. Is it there? Nope. That's, nope. Oh boy, the sliding mechanics. I hope they do something about the sliding mechanics eventually. I do not like sliding all the way down a hill because it got a little bit too steep. This is a relatively minor example, but I've definitely slid for a solid minute down some of these hills before, and it's just like, can I please run again? There's sliding, not the most fun thing. Just watching your wolf kind of go. Alright, so we are going to claim this hex. I'm not going to spend too much time howling to raise the strength of the hexes just yet. We can come back later and mark over them in a few hours, and that will, well, a few hours of in-game time, and that will just kind of raise them to 100. We seem to have picked out a pretty good spot for ourselves in the middle of the map. Haven't even heard Coyote Creek howl yet, which is surprising. They seemed quite vocal in the first episode. But maybe they'll actually leave us alone, I say, foolishly hoping. We'll just have to see. A couple of pronghorn over there. We do need to hunt something pretty soon. Probably not right away, but we are too low on food to feed the pups. So I don't know. On accurate, sometimes it's smarter not to hunt quite as much. I tend to hunt at every opportunity I get just because it's a little more fun than sitting around and waiting for your hunger to diminish. But we'll see if we stumble across any elk or if we're just gonna keep running out here on our own. Oh, a bear and her cubs. Let's keep our distance from them. No need to tangle with Mama Bear. Nice open plains area here. You can see for miles. And we can see that weird little pond over there in, I'm used to that being geode territory, but I guess maybe they haven't claimed it just yet. I'm sure they will take the opportunity to expand if we don't kind of claim all of this as our territory. Are we close to the balanced rock den? Not yet, no. There's another den down here that I pretty frequently use. I've spent a lot of time in this area of the map down here. A little bit higher up where we are, not so much, but down here I'm pretty familiar with. Not enough to know which one of these is the entrance to the den, though. It's this one. Wonderful. All right. I am standing on the rock. All right. Observe the beautiful granite field, which we cannot enter. Barred from entry. I feel like that's one of the cliffs that you can't run off of. I'm not going to test that theory. There have been a number of times where I've almost run off cliffs when I'm playing one of my Ironwolves, and it's just not the most ideal situation. So we're going to try not to do that. We're going to be keeping our eyes on the screen, and I thought the den was over here. Is it over here? I don't know. I mean, hopefully we're not going to need all of these extra dens, but in fact, I do not foresee a situation in which we could possibly need all of these extra dens. But here's the balanced rock den. There is an achievement for this one, which I have gotten. I've gotten all the achievements at this point that are currently released, but this one, not the most fun. If I had to rank my favorite achievements, hoping that you have a litter of 6 pups with 3 males and 3 females, and having to pick the same den over and over again, not the greatest. I've liked most of the WolfQuest achievements. Some of them are a little bit tricky. It took me hours and hours and hours to find the lost dog in Lost River. And I think having played, I don't know, 800 hours of this game, I have found maybe a total of 3 fish I'm marking in the same hex that we just marked. Whoa, where am I going? I'm talking and I'm getting away from myself. Oh goodness gracious. Let's double back. This is an unnecessary amount of territory to have marked. I just started talking and kept on talking. I don't know if I even finished that sentence, but if I didn't, yeah, 800 hours, a grand total of 3 fish. The just seemingly a really random rare occurrence that also has an achievement for it. I think my favorite ones are probably the ones that you actually get to that are not based on luck, essentially. I like the ones where you know, you grow to age 8 playing an Ironwolf, or raise pups as the runt of the previous litter, because, you know, you just get to... Why am I doing this? I've moved the hex again. You just get to play the game normally, and you don't have to worry about whether you're going to get lucky enough to find a fish, or a lost dog, or have exactly the correct number of pups with exactly the correct genders. But we'll see what the future holds. I'm actually particularly interested in what they're going to do with the Bad Parent achievement, which you currently get for having a pup die of starvation. Given that they've mentioned that the period of time in the saga right after the pups have grown to about... I don't know if they're... You know, you have to raise the pups to 20 pounds at the rendezvous site. And after that, I believe we're going to move into another stage. And at that point, the devs have mentioned that it's going to be harder to hunt, that the prey are going to be stronger, that the pups are going to get hungry faster. And I wonder if they're still going to keep the name of that achievement as Bad Parent if they kind of expect you to lose some pups to starvation during that time of year. Or if it's going to be changed to either a different name, or perhaps just unlocked if you lose a pup to hunger before the summer. Kind of something that's been on my mind. And let's see. This territory is going to be unnecessarily large. It's fine. Oh, and we're getting tired, so not only have I marked too much territory, I haven't marked it in an efficient way to actually ensure that our pups are safe. That's on me, but, you know, I feel like maybe, as far as the story of the game goes, Gnat might be getting a little overzealous marking, trying to make sure that nobody comes and starts a fight with her, because she's not convinced that she can win any of those fights that some other wolves might start with her. She's aware that she's not the strongest, she's aware that she's not the fastest or healthiest, and maybe she's going a little over the top on marking just to try to prevent some of that from happening, some of those wolves from actually coming and challenging her in the first place. It's interesting that Stickbug chose to stay back with the pups. Often my mates actually try to come along every time I mark, and I feel bad having to send them back to the den, but it's kind of interesting that he seems more keen on being a den dad and hanging out with the pups. That's nice. Alright, I think we're going to head back to the den, marking one last hex on our way over there, and we're going to see how the next day treats us. And we did not stumble across any elk herds, we didn't stumble across any mule deer, so there wasn't... Not that Gnat should really be trying to hunt mule deer. There is a hare there. I'm thinking I'm gonna pass on hunting hares for now. I just kind of want to see how she gets by without them. Generally, the answer I have found to that is it is harder. It's not quite as easy if you don't have hares to kind of supplement your diet, but we'll see. She might have to go hunting first thing in the morning if this keeps up. But our affinity with the pups has stayed pretty high thanks to Stickbug hanging out there. And I'm sure that our flea load is still quite low. Which might not be the case if our pups were sequestered away in the den. So we can see Stickbug over there. What are you doing, bud? Huh. Oh, there we go. Pups aren't even out right now. But here they come. Hello, babies. How is his food doing? 81%, so he could technically feed them one more time. I don't know that he will. Probably not necessary for him to. Okay, doesn't look like he's going to, so I'm going to have Gnat sleep, and we'll see what the morning brings. Who is this that's hanging out right next to us? Looks like Moth. And then somebody's over there with Stickbug. Yep, so Moth's here, Hawk's over there, and then we've got, you know, Bramble, Bracken, and Willow. And we don't have anything to feed them. Do we smell anything? Oh, there's an elk herd that way. That is so convenient. All right, pups. They are going to go back in the den, and it looks like we don't currently have a predator attacking, which is nice. It's nice to have a little bit of peace here at the beginning and just kind of get used to everyone. I do want to spend some more time with the pups and kind of see what each of their individual personalities are like, but for now we're going to go get some food. Maybe we can come back and watch them for a little bit. This time Stickbug is coming with us, which is good because he needs to eat too. Can't just stay with the pups all the time. Huh, somebody has already killed a spike elk. Well, I mean, if there's nobody on that carcass, that might be a easier prey, but there could very well be a predator on it. Let's find out. Wonder how far away it is. As we get... Oh, well, I was going to say, as we get older, we'll get different perks and we'll be able to possibly see how far away these carcasses are. But no, we can't. Because we are playing Ultra Ironwolf. Gnat will never be getting any perks. No matter how old she is, no matter what age she is, she will have the same stats until she becomes an Elder Wolf and has -3 in every stat, which should be exciting. Let's see, I got distracted by the fact that this hex is low. This is just... I'm having a time of it. We will get back and get the food. I just... kind of wanted to come over and check out... Wow, this is really on the other side of the hex. That was a choice that I made, and not a good one. It's kind of interesting seeing how commentating is making me play in a different way. Certainly I would normally have stayed on that carcass scent, and we are going to run back now and see if we could pick up the scent again, but we do want to make sure the territory stays somewhat strong so that we don't get, who is that, Cottonwood Creek over there, coming and taking a peek and seeing if they can take our territory from us. We do not want that. So, let's see. If we run back along following Stickbug's scent trail, do we pick up the scent of the elk again? Not quite yet. So far, not at all. This is... I mean, I guess I ran for longer than I realized, but hopefully... Oh, there we go. It does appear that there's a bear on it, though, and I don't know that we want to fight a bear. We'll just go check it out and see if we can maybe scare the bear off or trick the bear into giving us some space so we can get a little bit of this carcass. Otherwise, oh, it does look like it's the mother bear and her cubs, maybe the same one that we saw earlier. Okay, yeah, it's gonna be really hard to actually get to the carcass with a mother and her 2 cubs around. And I don't really want Stickbug to get hurt distracting them, so I think we should probably leave and see if we can't track down a herd. Ugh, I don't know, I mean, this would be easy food, but it sure ain't. Not with this bear here. And I don't, the only problem is I don't smell the herd that I picked up the scent of before. So, I mean, who knows where they are? This might be our only chance at getting food. Like, I don't pick up their scents at all anymore. Oh! As I say that, here they are. Wonderful. Okay. Looks like we don't have to mess with the bear after all, which I am quite glad about. Let's see if we can spook them into running. Alright, get moving, y'all. Go on. We're scary wolves. Oh, Stickbug's just gonna run right in there. Buddy, maybe don't. Maybe we wait until we can scare them. Okay, there they go. Now, I'm going to try not to get trampled like I have the last 3 or 4 times. We're gonna just try to have a nice, clean hunt. Now, we can't really tell which of these elk are weakest. I've heard and seen some support that if they kind of keep their heads held up the entire time, that might indicate that they're weaker than elk who don't keep their heads up the entire time. Problem with that is I have a hard time keeping track of elk when they kind of get back in with the herd. That one's going off somewhere else. Stickbug's chosen an elk, which doesn't necessarily appear to be a good choice. Hey, bud, I don't know if that's the one we want to go for. I admire his initiative, certainly. Let's see how this one's doing. We could probably make this work. Let's bite her neck and see if we can't do some more damage. Okay, she is getting up now, but we've lowered her health significantly and we haven't taken a lot of damage. So we'll probably stick with this one. There's definitely, if we had chased the herd for longer, we would have identified some weaker ones and been able to kind of pick them out of the herd. But for the time being, this should do. We should be able to take her down if we're just a little bit careful. Stickbug is getting kicked. Oof, that damage isn't great. Alright, keep my stamina up, wear her stamina down, and we should be good. Good job, Stickbug. He is a very good hunter. I appreciate him being around. And with that, the hunt is complete. Even with her small amount of health, Gnat is looking pretty good still. No injuries, most of her health is still intact, and we got a nice big meal that we can fill our bellies with and go back and feed our hungry pups. So far, great. Oh, Stickbug is leaving with his food. Goodbye. That's one of those fun things that mates will sometimes do. Okay, so I'm full on food, presumably he's full on food, and we are going to take a chunk back to our babies. Off we go! Successful! We are winning at parenting. Well, at least the hunting part of parenting. Oh, coyotes. Hey, you guys better stay away from our den. I don't want you creeping around. But we're not going to interfere with them. Back in the day of WolfQuest Legacy Edition, there was sure an incentive to hunt down and destroy coyotes, because if you didn't do that, they wouldn't leave. But nowadays, you could just scare them off, which is more realistic and less violent. Of course, sometimes you want to chase a coyote down if they get your pups, but doesn't bring the pup back, doesn't do a whole lot of good, just ends up taking you away from your remaining pups for the most part. Well, hopefully we won't have to deal with that in this litter. Oh, here's our puppies. Our wakefulness is getting a little bit low, but I do want to feed them a little bit more before we take a nap. Just gonna kind of hang out here while they eat and watch the area around the den. Sometimes you can spot a predator coming from a long way off, and other times you don't quite have the visibility or they're coming from a weird angle. This den is not the best I've seen in terms of visibility, but it's also not the worst. So far I don't see any danger. And is Hawk? Okay, Hawk's still eating from a little pile there. Very cute. Oh, she loves her babies. So far, I see Willow's doing a little bit of exploration. Now this could indicate that she has more of a loner personality or more of an energetic personality, or it could indicate nothing, and I'm pulling at straws because it's kind of hard to tell the pups' personalities in this game. I know for sure that you can't kind of check on their personalities after they grow up because presumably you've spent time with them and have kind of learned how they behave, but maybe that'll be a little bit easier in the saga. For now, I actually find it pretty hard to tell what some of the pups' personalities are. But I'm sure once you kind of get to hunt with them and they get a little bit bigger and can kind of do some of the adult wolf jobs, might be a little bit clearer whether they're bold or... I can't imagine that these pups would be overly bold unless they're taking after their father, given Gnat is very, very cautious. I didn't mean to use that emote, but alright. Let's see if they will come to us if we do a wolf. Well, Stickbug sure did. We've got Moth, Bracken heading this way. Oh, Willow just wandered all the way away from the den. Well, certainly an adventurous one. Are you going to be the problem child, Willow? We will have to see. I would like to get the pups... Oops. I'd like to get the pups back here. But Hawk and Bramble don't seem quite as keen to listen, so I wonder if they are on the bolder side. Sometimes I've seen bold pups not necessarily go into the den when you tell them to go into the den. I'd be more likely to come out of the den while there are predators attacking, so I wonder if that also translates to not responding as fast when a parent woofs. Because Bramble is finally coming over, but Hawk is not. Okay, let's go get him, and then we'll sleep again. Okay. Everyone's here. I do kind of want to see if we can get to our first den attack this episode, but maybe we'll get lucky and nobody will come after us. That'd be nice. If a bit boring. There's 4 of the pups here. Where is the 5th? Willow. I don't see any signs of danger. And our territory is getting a little weak, but not too bad. I think I'm just gonna hang out a little bit with the pups and kind of see how they behave. If anybody has any observations of any particular pup, I'd love to hear them. So far, Willow's causing some trouble. Oh, we do still have food. We can feed them again. And I certainly don't see anything dangerous. There go Hawk and Bracken. Let's see. So what about you guys? How do you feel about the balance of hanging out with the pups versus marking territory versus hunting? Is it a good balance? Could it use some tweaking? I'm usually, I enjoy spending time with the pups for sure, and I don't think the balance is too rough until one of them gets sick, and then you kind of feel like you have to be there, or you're missing out on possibly helping them get better. That I don't like so much. Especially when you spend a bunch of time... That's a bald eagle, we're fine. Especially when you spend a bunch of time with them and then they don't end up getting better after all, which seems like it's going to be an increasingly frequent occurrence in the saga. Our pups seem very well behaved. No one's running off and getting lost again. Stickbug's bringing Moth back. And there goes Hawk. And Willow. I always have this creeping feeling when we're at the den that something bad is going to happen. Okay, there's Willow. And sometimes it doesn't, and sometimes it does. Let us bring... Being at an open den, we will have to keep an eye out for eagles. Thankfully, that one earlier was not interested in our pups. It's probably more interested in hares and fish. Of which we are neither. Hello, dear. Oh, she's adorable. Okay, that is a hare over there. That scared me. Let's... maybe... well, I don't know. Can I feed them at all? Yes. I'm gonna feed them and then take one more nap and see if that might just about bring us to the end of the episode. I'm not gonna try to make all of them quite as long as the first one was. That kind of got away from me. But at the same time, I tend to prefer longer episodes when I watch WolfQuest, and so that's probably what I'm gonna make as well. Oh, precious. Willow, are you just a little loner? You just don't want to hang out with your siblings, huh? Alright. Oh, we're having a little showdown between Bramble and Willow here. Bracken's got a stick. The drama intensifies. Okay, we're gonna take a little nap. And hopefully our pups will come curl up by us. Moth, what are you doing? Here she comes. Alright. Obviously I'm out of food to feed them. And no den attack. Okay. Well, I think we're gonna leave off there this time and just kind of hang out end the episode happy, hanging out with our pups and our mate, and everything's nice and cozy. No problems yet. And Gnat hopes it will stay that way. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time.